Around the mid-2010s, you had a few pitchers who were in their primes and dominating, such as Clayton Kershaw, Chris Sale, and Chris Archer. As dominant as those pitchers were back then, there was one guy who was playing just as good and maybe even better than some of them. His name is Tyson Ross. Now, if you look at Tyson Ross's stats today, you'll notice that he didn't seem like that great of a player. He was only an all-star for one season, but the truth is, he had a short yet dominant prime. Ross had a few flaws in his game, but for the most part was a machine. That was until 2016. His game never recovered after that, and his ERA just continuously skyrocketed. And now, he is no longer on an MLB team and last played in 2019. So let me ask the question, what happened to Tyson Ross? Well, let's get right into it. Tyson Ross was born and raised in Berkeley, California. When he was in high school, he was pretty productive in his junior year. Not only did he have an amazing pitching performance where he went 9-2 with a 1.53 ERA, but the man also hit 7 home runs with a 366 batting average. Pretty good, right? Ross attended the University of Berkeley and was capable of winning a Gold Glove in 2007 and was a Pac-10 All-Conference in 2007 and 2008. Ross was getting noticed by plenty of scouts around the league. According to Baseball America, during the spring, Ross's fastball would go up to 96 miles per hour and hit minimum 90. Ross would also use his changeup, which had its movement, but was nothing like his slider. His slider was described as his best pitch. The biggest question scouts had about Tyson Ross was not his skills, but his mechanics. The man stood at an astounding 6'5", 220 pounds. Scouts worried that could very well throw him off when trying to locate his pitches. They also believed his arm action was short and would cause issues. Tyson Ross would end up being drafted in the second round of the 2008 MLB draft by the Oakland A's. Ross was pitching well enough in the minors to be ranked as the 6th best prospect on the A's in 2010. Ross would get called up to the majors that same season, and in 26 appearances out of the bullpen, plus 2 starts, he posted a 5.49 ERA. So that wasn't a great way to start your MLB career, but he made up for it the next season. Ross started in 6 games and came out of the bullpen 3 times in 2011. He went 3-3 with a 2.75 ERA and 24 strikeouts. Ross would last one more season with the A's, and it didn't end well. He only won 2 games with 11 losses and posted a 6.50 ERA. But as said before, it was his last season. On November 16, 2012, he was traded to the San Diego Padres for Andy Perino and Andrew Werner. Tyson Ross was still coming out of the bullpen and starting, but all in all, he wasn't playing so bad. He had a 3.17 ERA in 35 appearances. 16 of those were starts. Although his ERA was good, his win-to-loss ratio wasn't great. He went 3-8 that season, and this would become a problem throughout his time in San Diego. We'll get to that in a bit. 2014 would come around, and this would be the season Tyson Ross went off. He had 13 wins with a 2.81 ERA and 195 strikeouts with a 1.2 WHIP. He was looking very good, and that season will be his first and unfortunately last time making it to the All-Star team. After putting Ross as a full-time starter, the Padres knew they needed this man in the rotation. He pitched so well in 2014 that he received the Padres' Clyde McLeod Pitcher of the Year award. Ross was second in the rotation in 2014 and stayed there in 2015. He had 10 wins with a 3.26 ERA and 212 strikeouts in 2015. Although his walks were at a career high of 84, he wasn't pitching too badly, and this was looked at as a great season. But what if I told you 2015 was the last time the league ever witnessed the dominant Tyson Ross? To start, the Padres re-signed him for 1 year and $9 million. He was supposed to pitch in 2016 until he suffered a shoulder injury and underwent surgery. Remember the scouting report I was telling you about? Let's go to it again. Baseball America mentioned how size could lead to arm stress and lack of extension on finishing pitches. The key part of that sentence is arm stress. As we can see, the scouts were right, because that shoulder injury ruined the rest of Ross's career. Before we move on, let me answer the question about the win-to-loss ratio. While Ross was an all-star in 2014, he lost 14 games, and in 2015, he lost 12 games. So why was he losing so much? Well, part of it had to do with the Padres' offense. As we know, the Padres used to be a mediocre team back in the 2010s. Their offense just wasn't there, and their pitching was okay. The Padres' offense was so bad in 2014 that they were last in OPS as a team with 634. It was quite a difference to the 29th ranked OPS, which was the Reds with 661. But anyways, back to Ross. He ended up signing a one-year contract with the Rangers in 2017, and he was looking horrendous. In 10 starts and 2 appearances, he had a 7.71 ERA and 42 earned runs. Think about how terrible that is. Ross only lasted 1 year with the Rangers. Once he became a free agent, the San Diego Padres decided to give him a second chance. He played better than his time in Texas, but was nothing like before. Ross would throw a combined no-hitter with the Padres in 2018, but that was about it. The Cardinals claimed him off of waivers that same season, and he actually played well out of the bullpen in 26 innings. He had a 2.73 ERA, which is respectable. Ross wouldn't return with the Cardinals as the Detroit Tigers decided to pick him up, and it was once again a horrible experience. 1-5 with a 6.11 ERA is not great. It was obvious Ross had lost his touch and wasn't that all-star pitcher anymore. 2019 was his last season he pitched in the majors. In 2020, the San Francisco Giants signed him for a minor league contract. Ross was supposed to play that season, but 1, he was cut by the Giants in June, and 2, because of COVID, he opted out of the season. The Rangers gave him one more chance in 2021. He signed on February 19th and was cut on May 4th. So what has Ross been doing ever since then? Well, he's not only been trying to finish his UC Berkeley degree, but also, according to Oakland side, the man is trying to make a return to baseball. When asked, he said, quote, "I've got some more in me." It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens next for Tyson Ross. The man was once looked at as a top 10 pitcher in the league, but due to an injury, it ruined everything. Ross is now 35 years old and believes he still has what it takes to return on a major league roster. We will see if he has the capability to do it or not. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I like to apologize for the lack of uploads lately. There have been a few things going on off camera. 1, I've been really busy with work. And 2, I was sick for 1 week, and that threw me off of practically everything. I apologize, and I promise you guys I will get back into uploading consistently. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. I'm out.